Let's begin at the head of the mat in Tadasana. On the inhale, lower your seat as you sweep your arms up in Utkatasana. Now shift your weight to the left foot and place the flexed right foot upon the left knee in number 4 shape. Pitch forward and then lifting from the core, pulse up and down, getting in touch with the center of your gravity. And from the strength of that standing leg, bring your right knee to chest, arms overhead as you pitch forward to Warrior 3. Now let's float the fingertips on the floor or on the block. And as you exhale, curl in, rounding and engaging the core, tapping the ankles, and then re-extend back to Modified Warrior 3. One more time. Exhale, curl in, activate the core, and extend from core to periphery. Now try raising your hands and try this freestanding. Exhale, curl into round, drop your head. Inhale, radiate back through the heel, forward through the crown. Try one more time. Exhale to round, activate that core, so you can release your neck, and then re-extend the crown of the head forward and the heel back to create that one horizontal line of Warrior 3. As you exhale, land in a high lunge, sweeping your arms overhead. Inhale to pulse up, exhale to descend to a deeper lunge. Notice my back leg is straight, and this time lift and open your heart into a back bend and land your fingertips on the earth or on a pair of blocks. You can shorten your stance so you can square your hips. Try placing your left thumb into the crease of the left hip to help you square the hips. And also if you're tighter in the hamstrings, you can pulse, alternating, slightly bending and extending. Now drape your arms forward, letting the neck go, and then walk your hands over to the left to emphasize the length of the right side of your back. Continue to square your hips as you breathe, and there's a slight twist element here. Now when you return to center, sweep your arms back. You can slightly bend your front knee if you need, and just feel the spine as a horizontal axis. Place your left hand on your left shin or ankle and turn the back foot out slightly, or maybe open your stance for triangle pose, Trikonasana. Pin the right shoulder back and then let the right arm extend straight to the sky. Wrap your tricep in as you sweep your arm overhead, and on the inhale, sweep your arm behind you. Inhale to open that pectoral. Exhale, sweep across. Inhale, explore that range of motion, and inhale, take your arm right over the ear. Now both arms extend. Pull the collarbones out of the ears and come back up. And we're going to go for a tricep stretch as you bend the left elbow and pull the elbow to the right, and go into reverse warrior with that tricep variation. Bend the left knee and work the turn out, and breathe as you feel the opposition. Now let's place your left forearm on the left thigh for modified Parsvakonasana, and then slide that left hand down towards the space in front of your left instep. And again, circle the arm along with your breath, opening the right shoulder, lubricating the shoulder joint. Inhale to sweep back, exhale to sweep across. And this time, as you reach for the diagonal line, turn to the front of the mat for a low lunge and just switch your hands. So the left arm comes up and you're in a rotated low lunge twist. Now let's stay low and step it back to plank. We're going to pick up the pace here and activating the core. Draw the right knee to nose and step it back to plank. Now draw the left knee to nose, inhale to a plank, exhale right knee to nose, back to a plank, left knee to nose. Now pick it up. Exhale, exhale, knee to nose, knee to nose, knee to nose. Exhale, 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 exhale. Making this very pranayamic. As you exhale, let the knees float to the floor and bring your heart and chin close to the earth, slithering your way into a low, then medium, then a high cobra, and then push off your hands to a rounded back like a cat into the deepest child pose you can. You're going to walk your hands over to the right for that diagonal back stretch. It's a slight twist as you rotate from left to right. And then walk it over to your left, reaching as far as you can with your fingertips. Breathe, relax your face, and inhale to the straight child pose. Now let's roll it up and take your hands behind you As you lift your knees, stretching the tops of the ankles, and inhale, press up in a modified camel. Again, lift your knees. This is part of the body that we don't usually stretch, so it might be very tight, and that's fine. Just listen to your body and play at the edge. One more time, lift your heart. Breathe into that expansion of the heart and slowly activate the core as you sit down. This time, interlace your hands behind you, draw the shoulder blades down, and as you exhale, fold forward. Bring your forehead towards the earth, raising your hands to the sky. If you're able to get the forehead on the mat, then you can rock right and left, opening the shoulders even more. Lots of shoulder opening in this sequence. Now stretch your arms all the way forward in the traditional child pose, and let's pick it back up to downward facing dog. Inhale as you rise to half toe, exhale, ground the heels. This time as you rise to half toe, push off your toes and float to the head of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, wrap your elbows behind your calves, breathing into those hamstrings. Now let's bend the knees, push your hands off your thighs as you round. We're going to do a cat-cow in Utkatasana. So inhale to sway, arch the spine, exhale to curl the tail under, activating that core. Inhale, roll it open, throat and heart to the sky. Exhale, drop your head as you round. It's like a slow-moving African dance, so enjoy the sensuality of this and ride your rhythm. This time, gather your hands to a core and sweep up and back into a standing back bend, and gather your hands to your heart to begin the whole thing to the other side. Inhale, sweep your arms up, chair pose. Now let's shift that weight over to your right leg with left foot flexed. I pulse lifting from the core and find that center of gravity. From here, let's stand knee to chest and begin to pitch forward for Warrior 3, Virabhadrasana. Dial that left kneecap down and float your fingertips to the ground. So exhale, tap the ankles and round. Inhale, reach back through the heel, projecting the crown of the head forward. Again, round on the exhale. Inhale, reach it back. Now let's try the freestanding version of this. Exhale to round, engage that core. Inhale, reach forward through the crown, back through the heel. The key is to really feel that center of gravity and extend from that center. You're going to land in your high lunge, whatever happened there, and inhale to pulse up, high lunge. Exhale to bend the front knee to 90. Inhale to rise, feel all 10 toes. From the deepest high lunge here, we're going to peel the heart open into a back bend. Inhale, expand and circle the arms open, landing them next to your front foot. So you're welcome to shorten your stance to be able to square your hips. And again, let's take your right thumb into the right hip crease to help you square the hips and pulse, bending the knee, straightening the leg, tuning into your hamstrings capacity today. Now leading with your heart, drape over your pyramid pose. Relax your neck and breathe, letting the brain relax. You can walk it over to the right and add that slight twist from left to right to maximize the stretch. Draw the kneecaps and the quadriceps up and let them hug the bones. As you return to center, again relaxing your neck, activate the core as you squeeze your legs in, and then we're going to slightly bend your knees as you swing your hands back. Now with precision, let's turn this into triangle pose. You can open up your stance considerably and turn the back foot at about 60 degrees. Sweeping your left arm to the sky, wrap the triceps in for that extended line. Inhale, circle the arm overhead. Exhale, swing it across. Inhale, circle it back. Really enjoy the expansion of your chest. Inhale, open up and circle across. One more time. Inhale, lubricating that joint. This time, as you take your arm overhead, let's go for that hovering, both arms out. Use your core to come up with length and strength. Now bend the right elbow and catch it with your left hand for the reverse warrior with tricep stretch. Go for a wider stance if you need. And we're going to perch the right forearm on the right thigh for the modified version first, and then slide your right fingertips down to the space in front of your instep. Once again, let's circle the arm opening your chest. This is really to get the breath flowing. Inhale to open up, exhale to slice across. And from that classic line of Parsvakonasana, turn to the front of the mat for low lunge and switch hands, taking your arm overhead so you're really long in a low lunge twist. Now float your palm down and step back to a plank. This time let's go for full vinyasa. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, push off your toes to upward dog. Exhale, melt the knees to the ground and take it back to child pose. Now we're going to go into a wrist stretch, turning your wrists forward, fingers towards your knees. Begin to tread the wrist just like you would your feet. One wrist come down, the other elbow bends. Bring that stretch all the way to the first joint of your fingers as you bend your elbows towards your knees. It's pretty intense, so turn that cringe into a smile. Now let's rise to kneeling for Ustrasana, camel pose. Interlace your hands and draw up from your core into your heart. You want to really make sure you're not sinking into your lower back, but lifting up. So if you have the mobility, you know your back is strong, then let your fingertips land on your heels for the full version. Let's linger here for a few breaths, opening up your heart and letting the head gently fall back. Now use your core and come on back. We're going to float and almost fall into a slithering cobra and turn that into upward facing dog. And pick it back up to downward facing dog. Relax your face and breathe in. Draw the collarbones up out of the ears. As you rise to half dog gaze forward, and we're going to jump and land your feet wide. Feet outside your hands and coming down to the Malasana squat. Let your elbows pin the knees back and begin to roll and shrug the shoulders out of the ears and lift again. Exhale, temporarily collapsing and rounding and then building it back up. Exhale, release your neck. Inhale, draw your shoulder blades down. This is like a little cat-cow to help you open up your chest. Now heel toe your feet in for Padangusthasana version of Uttanasana. Grab your big toes with your peace sign fingers. We're going to bend the elbows wide to the sides and duck your head down. You got to lift your collarbones here. Everything is a preparation for more advanced poses. Now we're going to bend your knees. Again, let's take your hands on the knees and push up for a rounded back. Inhale to arch. Be playful here and enjoy the arching and the rounding, exploring the expansion of your front body and back body, riding your breath. Let the neck go. We're going to roll it up. This time, let's sweep your arms overhead and peel the heart open for an expansion of the heart, back bend, and gather your hands to prayer. Now stand in dynamic poise without fidgeting, feeling your whole being as a bridge between earth and sky. Let's prepare for the next round. Inhale, sweep your arms up in chair. Exhale, swing your left arm across in a rotated version of chair pose. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, right elbow across to the left outer thigh. Work that leverage. Back to center, inhale. Left elbow to the outer right thigh. This time, let's bring your palms together and deepen this twist. Try to slide the left hip and left knee back as you spin your heart to the sky. Now we're going to transfer the weight onto your right foot, peeling the left heel off the ground and take a step into a deep twist. Breathe your yogic 3-part breath here so you get the maximum benefit of this detoxifying pose. As you unwind out of the pose, place your fingertips on the ground and shorten your stance. This time you're going to turn the back foot out at a 45-degree. And you can take your right hand on the sacral spine to make sure the pelvis stays level to the ground. It sounds easy, but it's the most challenging part of this pose. If you are more advanced, take your left hand on the pinky toe side of the foot, getting a nice wrist to ankle lock. You can stretch your right arm to the sky and really spiral the left belly to the right. Now, root through the back heel and come on up. Same configuration of the arms. I'm going to wiggle the back foot back for a high lunge twist. Let's pulse this up and down, bending the front knee, And now see if you can let the right hand catch your left leg as your left arm goes up in a crescent moon version of this pose. Now reach your left fingertips forward in Parivritta Ardha Chandrasana, or rotated half moon pose. You have to strongly hug your outer hips in, and if you're able, catch your lifted foot with your right hand for an oppositional back bend. Protect your lower back by engaging the core, and also prevent hyperextending that standing leg. Now if you're able, perhaps bring your left hand to your heart for a moment of balance. Breathe into that kicking up of your foot into your hand, and then drape it down into your standing split. One hand can wrap around your standing ankle, or maybe both hands, and really feel that center of gravity as you let the lifted leg go higher and higher. To come down, we're going to bend both knees and tuck the left knee behind the right, using your core to come on down with a seated spinal twist. Wrap the left arm around the right knee, take your right fingertips behind your tailbone, and again work the left arm strength to pull the knee over to the left while your belly revolves from left to right. If you got a bind in you, go for it. You want to make sure you breathe inside its restriction. The deeper the twist, the deeper the breath. Let the crown of the head extend tall as you gaze elegantly over your right shoulder. Inhale as you unwind and take a reverse counter twist. You can also bow over this open twist and let the head hang, bringing the stretch to that right side. As you roll up, come on forward onto all fours with the same cross of the legs. Open your feet a little wider and sit back down. You may want to place a blanket or a block under your seat for Gomukh Asana. You can grab your big toes with your Yogi Talak fingers and try the classic arms, taking your left arm overhead, your right hand from underneath, clasping your fingers, or you might use a strap here. Inhale to lift your heart, and I'm going to begin to circle, leaning to the right and then draping forward, and circular motion. Let the breath guide you as you lean to the right, and let the head hang as you round over your legs. Inhale to the left and back to center. These circular motions are designed to really open up the connective tissues of your shoulders and your elbows so that they can open up for a deeper bind. As you drape forward, touch that stillness inside and become the observer. Inhale to extend through that elbow and come on up. Exhale and let the bind go. You can shrug it out and bring some lubrication to those joints. And let's move into double pigeon for an even deeper hip opener. Now, if this pose is too much for your hips, you can also sit in Sukhasana with your ankles crossed. Either way, take your thumbs into the crease of the hips and lead with your heart as you drip your head down and then roll yourself up. Allow the spine to undulate in this way using your breath. So it's like fluid, watery spine against the fire in the hips. Inhale, roll it up. This time I'm going to interlace the hands, peel the heart up, and drape forward and down, trying to bring the crown of the head on the floor. You can squeeze your wrist together if that's available to you. You can rock it right and left, opening your shoulders. And just take a moment to just deepen this forward bend. All forward bends are profound meditations. So whatever you're doing, be with your awareness. As you roll it up, let your palms rest on your knees or thigh, a moment of meditative reflection. It's a beautiful practice to invite grace into your practice because yoga requires both self-effort and grace. And let's gently come out of this pose into reverse tabletop, wrists pointing back. Rock it forward towards your feet, back towards your hands, and then very playfully make 3 elliptical circles to the right, massaging your wrists and your ankles. We're going to perch now on your sitting bones for Navasana. We're going to kindle the fire, and we're going to bring the lower back all the way down and come up with straight legs if you can. Lower back down. Now, bent knees. Again, lower back on the ground. Straight legs lifting from the core. Inhale, lower back all the way on the ground. Come up with bent knees. One more set. Lower back down. Rise with straight legs. Inhale, bring the lower back to the floor and bend the knees. Now cross your ankles, come onto all fours and step it or jump it to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And let's pick up from the core back to downward facing dog. Now take a moment to maximize your downward facing dog, broadening and lengthening your back. On the inhale, rise to half dove, jump it or walk it to the head of the mat. Ardha Uttanasana, open heart. This time, slide the right palm under the sole of your left foot and do the same with the left side for Pada Hastasana. Elbows go wide to the sides, collarbones draw up, and the crown of the head reaches towards the earth. Breathe your Ujjayi breath, and as you inhale, reach your heart forward. Let's come out of this one hand at a time to your hip crease and lift from the core all the way to Urdhva Hastasana. Peel the heart open in a back bend and come back to Anjali Mudra, hands to prayer. From Samasiddhi, let's do the whole thing to the other side. Ready? Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, right arm swings across for a twist. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left elbow pushes against the right outer thigh. Inhale, back to center. This time, twist to the left and bring your hands to prayer. We're going to peel the right heel off the ground, and when you're ready, step it back in a gigantic step into the deep low lunge twist. If you have a bind practice within you, you can take your left arm to the sky, overhead, and then thread the right arm under that front leg. Open your heart and let's breathe as deeply as you can, even inside this deep bind twist. Inhale to unwind out of the pose as you extend your front leg for Parsvottanasana. You can micro bend and extend your leg, again saying hello to your hamstrings. So we're going to set the stance for the rotated triangle pose. Back heel is on the floor. Let's take your left thumb onto the hip crease and really pull that left hip crease back as you revolve. I like sometimes manually helping my lower belly around. And you can extend your left arm to the sky. Breathe here as you root down through the back heel and lengthen out the crown of the head. Extend your right arm forward about a foot in front of you for Parivritta Ardha Chandrasana, rotated half moon pose. Squeeze the outer hips in, and if you're going for the bind, bend the top leg and catch it with your left hand. Work to lift up from the arch of that left foot, and if you're going for the balance, try your right hand to your heart. Take a chance. It's not about perfection. You saw me fall as well, right? So slowly we're going to drape forward into the standing split. Again, you can try one hand around the standing ankle, maybe both hands. It's a process, so don't worry about perfection, but try to find your center. From here, let's bend the knees, activate the core, tucking your right knee behind your left, float the hips down for your classic seated spinal twist. You can hook the right upper arm against your outer left knee, or wrap the elbow around the leg and pull the knee across to the right as your lower belly revolves to the left. If you get a bind in you, thread the right arm through the left leg, catch the opposite hand, but either way, you're going to draw up like crazy. Try to create length so that you can revolve a little deeper into the twist with every exhale. Relax your face and find that measure of Shavasana within this active twist. As you unwind out of the twist, you can take a counter twist, and you can also round over that open twist, releasing your neck, opening that left side of the back. And let's shift forward now into Gomukh Asana. can cross the left thigh deeply over the right. Try to settle both sitting bones on the ground and take your yogi toe lock fingers, index and middle fingers around your big toe, pulling your legs across one another. I like helping the bottom hand up, that's your left hand, while the top arm goes over, and try to find that bind. You can always use a strap to connect hands and begin this circular journey. You're going to lean to the left, exhale, drape forward. Inhale as you emerge to the right and back to the center. Exhale as you revolve forward, and inhale, leaning to the right to come up. Each circle deepening the shoulder stretch. And as you exhale to come still into the forward bend, see if you can go from a finger clasp towards a handshake, or if you have your hands holding a strap, walk the hands closer towards one another. It is intense, and it's meant to be intense, so just breathe and let it bring you into the present. Lengthening to come up. Release the shoulders, take a little shoulder shrug, and let's prepare to shift into the double pigeon, or Agni Stambhasana as it is known. So if your knee is up like this, you can place a blanket or a block underneath that thigh, or you can choose to modify by sitting cross-legged. Either way, try slipping your thumbs into the crease of the hips as you draw your heart up and over in this undulating drape. Relax your neck, let the brain drip, and then engage your core to roll up. Inhale, rise, exhale, drape. Follow your breath and ripple through the spine sequentially, lifting up through the heart and draping forward and down, rolling up. This time, interlace your hands and reaching up and over, bring the forehead or the crown of the head towards the earth. If you enjoyed it on the other side, you can rock side to side to further open the shoulders. Keep breathing. And as you inhale, lift from the heart. We're going to transition now into Navasana, boat pose. Try to lift up out of your lower back so you're not slouching. And if you're able, walk your hands up either towards your calf, ankle, or hold the big toe once again in yogi toe lock. See if you can keep the balance and close your belly towards your thighs. And then we're going to lean back, separate the legs, and bring the soles of the feet together for the classic Baddha Konasana, the cobbler's pose. Let's shift onto the front rim of your sitting bones. And you can lean to the left and press the right thigh down. You can lean to the right and press the left thigh down. And then let's hold the big toes and lift the heart up. Lead with your heart to a forward bend. Try to keep the spine long as far as possible. Breathing into your hips, breathing into your lower back. And if it's available to you, you can take the heels of your hands on the inner thighs as you guide your thigh bones down. And you can round the forehead or the crown of the head towards the earth. Let's stay here and breathe. Be with intensity, and as you inhale, project forward to come up. Close your knees like a hardcover book and release your hips. Let's extend your legs and slide the flesh of the buttocks behind you, reaching up, leading with your heart. Micro-bend your knees so that your belly closes towards your thighs. You can wrap your hands from the pinky toe edges of the feet. If you're able to interlace the fingers, really draw all 10 metatarsals of the feet back towards your forehead. There's a tremendous work in the arms and the upper back here. Draw the shoulder blades away from the ears, and you're actively reaching the crown of the head towards your toes, the toes back towards the crown. Let the breath flow. And now, let's let the forearms rest on the ground, turning this into a much more restorative pose. You can roll it up, letting your hands drag. And as you inhale, take the wrist behind you and press it up for Purvottanasana. Try to get the soles of the feet on the earth. As you come down, let's roll down onto your lower back, your sacral spine, and go into Ardha Navasana for core strengthening. Take a deep breath here, and as you exhale, catch your heels, forehead to your knees. Inhale to expand, pike your knees to the right. Breathing in, pike your knees to the left. Inhale now straight to the center, catch your heels, forehead to your knees. One more time, inhale, knees to the right, hands try to touch the left heel. Breathing in, knees to the left. Ujjayi breath, grab those heels. Last set now, inhale, knees to the right, lengthen, knees to the left, get long and contract. Now 10 in a row straight. Catch the heels, open it up, exhale, Ujjayi breath, inhale, and 3, lengthen, and 4, relax your neck each time, 5, radiate, contract, inhale, and 7, reach out, 8, keep breathing, 9, inhale, and 10. All right, you can embrace your knees, open up your back, and then take your elbows to the inner knees. You can flex your feet. So this is like Malasana reclining. From there, you can extend from your knee joint out to make this into a mega inner hip opener. If you're able to reach towards your heels or to the heels, you can guide your legs towards the earth. Most of us are tight in this direction, so breathe into the intensity and stay present. Now let's go into Supta or reclining Baddha Konasana. Catch the elbows and lengthen the sides and feel as though you're brushing your lower back and your buttocks towards the heels, almost as though you could obliterate that lower back space. And then let the arms come undone in no particular shape. Again, letting go towards Shavasana, towards a more passive asana. Remembering that Shavasana, the corpse pose, is named so because it is about a relinquishing of our personal agenda in the service of our universal divine nature as pure consciousness. So as you inhale, inhale as consciousness. And as you exhale, follow the exhalation all the way to the abyss of pure nothingness. And have the courage to merge into that nothingness and become that nothingness. Pay more attention to the nothingness than to your own thoughts. And without disturbing your inner state, slowly upright your knees and extend your legs one at a time. Bring your arms next to your waistline, about 45 degrees, palms upturned. Take another deep breath in Shavasana, and as you exhale, let it be a deep letting go. Remembering that relaxation is an act of trust. Practice trust. Practice letting go. Practice this deep surrender, which is the essence of yoga. Now place one hand on your heart and the other hand on your belly and feel the life happening inside. Let's bring your palms to touch and interlace your hands for a huge stretch. Send the electricity all the way down to your heels. Articulate your feet and draw your knees firmly against your chest. Rock side to side and take an easy roll over to your right. Enjoy fetal position for a breath or two and press yourself up to an upright sitting asana. So let's sit up tall and honor that part of us that is absolutely pure and pristine, that nothing in the world can touch. Meditate on that pristine space between thought and thought for a few moments. And let's offer all your efforts on the mat and off the mat to that. Namaste, Kindred Spirit. Thank you for joining me.